Hi, welcome to Makeup Studio Amsterdam. My name is Sharon and this is my beautiful model Jacqueline. So today we're going to do an end of summer look. We have it a little bit more waterproof for the rainy days coming up, but we want to keep the summer alive with some nice, vibrant and shiny colors. Keep on watching. So for our first step, we're going to prime her skin. This is our Face Prep Illuminating Primer. And this contains a sun protection screen. The other nice effect, it's illuminating, so already gives you like this perfect summer glow. So you want to apply the face primer all over your skin evenly. And you can use, of course, your fingers for this, but I prefer using a nice synthetic foundation brush. To neutralize the skin, we're going to use our compact neutralizer. Now this comes in two forms. It comes in a red neutralizer and a blue neutralizer. The red neutralizer, as the name says, is for all your red spots. It will just neutralize the skin and make everything more even. The other one is our blue neutralizer. You use this for some dark pigmentations on your skin, a little bit of the darker circles under your eyes, and that will just tone down all the colors. This comes in two forms, a little jar and a little stick. Very convenient for inside your handbag. If that little pimple just pops out, you just put it on there, finished. So I'm going to use the Compact Neutralizer in Blue 0, just a little bit underneath her eye, and then with our concealer brush we're going to blend it out. And because this one has a little bit of orange inside, it will just tone down a little bit of the darkness under her eyes. Blend it out. And we're going to cover just a little bit the slight redness, just to make it everything more even. And by evening out the skin tones already with your neutralizers, it will save you also a lot of work with your foundation because you need a lot less. This is our no transfer foundation. We're going to use this to apply in the skin because it is semi-covering, so it will just give you a nice and transparent look. And the nice thing about this, it is made out of silicone. So that means that it is self-drying. And as the name says, it's no transfer. So if you kiss somebody, or if you tend to wipe your cheek onto your shoulder, it will not transfer onto your clothing or onto your friends. So I'm gonna apply the foundation evenly as well onto her skin with our foundation brush. And as you can see, it's very nice and flat, so I can make little strokes, but because it's a little bit fluffier, I like to buff it in and make circular motion so I get a really nice and polished look onto her skin. Just gonna turn you a little bit. Now we're gonna set all the foundation lightly with some translucent powder. And normally your no transfer foundation, because it is self-drying, you don't have to set it with powder if you have dry skin. Now if you have a little bit more oily skin or tend to get a little bit of shine on your T-zone, I would recommend some powder. So we're going to use it. We're going to use our bronzer Lumiere for a nice and summery feel. So it just gives you like a little bit of extra color. It has a light shine to it, so it will just brighten up the skin like you've been in the sun, but in all the right places. So to warm up the skin, I'm just going to apply it right along her hairline. I'm going to take a little bit onto her cheek, right below her cheekbone, so we give you like a nice shape, and a little bit along her jawline. So with this we just warm up the skin with a nice small and light shiny but tan powder. So to give a little bit of extra dimension, I want to just use an angled brush with our compact mineral powder in color of Sunrise. Just give a little bit of extra contour underneath her cheekbones. So we've been warming up her face with a bronzer, and then we just take that little bit extra to make a little bit of a sharper line. So now we have finished our base. We put on the foundation, we have the powder so we're not shiny, we warmed up the skin, and I'm going to start with her eyebrows. We're going to use our brow powder. And the brow powder, you can either use it dry or use it moist. So if you use it dry, you can use it for like small little hairs that might be missing in your eyebrows. And if you tend to use a little bit of moisture, you can really darken up the color and carve them out very strongly. And for that, you can use our makeup fixer or our Seal It. Then you get it waterproof. So So we're just gonna brush the hairs of her eyebrow just to get them already a little bit into shape. So with your brow powder, since Jacqueline has such beautiful eyebrows, I'm just gonna fill in a little bit in between her hairs and use her original shape. So as you can see, if we just color a little bit in between her hair, so we actually color the skin behind, you get a very nice and subtle effect. Now to get a little bit more dimension and to really tighten it up, I have put a little bit of fixing spray on my brush, and I can make like a harsher line. So before we're gonna apply eyeshadow, we're gonna have one coat of eye primer. Now this is vital for every makeup look. Eye primer will intensify the color of your eyeshadow, it will stay on longer, and it will prevent your eyeshadow from creasing. And the nice thing about here, there's vitamin E inside, which is an anti-aging effect. So you want to apply the eye primer all over the eyelid. And I'm just using our concealer brush, so the same one that we used before. And you just make an even coat. Now, important, you don't want to see a lot of product. So once you've applied your eye primer, we're going to start with the eyeshadows. And today we are going to use color pigments. And color pigments are loose powder. So it's a little different from your compact eyeshadows, from your pressed powders. This is all a loose powder, and it is made out of true color pigments. And they have a very beautiful shine to them. So you can use them dry, you can use them wet, you can use them as an eyeliner. You have all the options available. So we're going to start with the eye look. I'm going to start with our color pigment in shade Topaz. And I'm just going to apply that a little bit on her inner corner of her eyelid. And the thing about true color pigments is that they are very intense. So I'd rather take a little bit longer with my makeup than applying it too much at once. So make sure it's a little bit subtle first, and then build it up to your liking. So once you have a little bit of the base, I'm just going to take a little bit of our matte eyeshadow, because I want a little bit more depth, and because of the shine that lacks a little bit. So if you want to give it a little bit more depth or dimension, you just use something matte and a tiny bit darker to carve out your perfect shape. So with Jacqueline, I want to go a little bit more outwards to have a little bit more of a wing. So now it's time to play with a little bit of color. So we took the color pigments in Turquoise, and just on our blend, so right on the edge of where the Topaz was, we're just going to place a slight smoke of blueness. And again, rather have it, you do it 20 times to get the best result than do it one time and it's way too much. So take it with the same direction that we already created in the beginning. So we go upwards. So we use just these colors as a guideline. So now you can look upwards all the way to the ceiling. I take a little bit of a smaller and flat brush, and I'm just going to place the blue underneath her complete lash line. And then later we're going to add some more depth to it, have a little bit of a glitter. But we just want that smokiness of the blue on the bottom side. Now I want a little bit more depth on the outer corner of her eye. So I'm just going to take like a charcoal eyeshadow and get that smoky effect of the ring already. And this is color number 21. So it's not completely black, it just has like a little bit of a gray touch to it. So you can create the depth that you want, build it up almost to a black. Very convenient. Take it a little bit inside the crease. And don't worry, you can always put on a little bit more blue to get the color back if you feel like you're missing it. So for some extra smokiness, I'm going to use our eye definer in black and just place it alongside her eyelashes. And then go a little bit towards that wing that we already created. And then with my brush, I can smoke it out a little bit. I can extend it. And you get that really nice, smudgy, dramatic look along your lashes. And a small tip while doing this along your lash line, you actually extend your eyelashes as well, so it looks like they go all the way up to where your black line ends. So for some extra sparkle, I'm gonna place on the, like right on the middle of her eyelid, a little bit of our Jewel Effects in Shine. Now I don't want this to be too much, but if you want it to be like a very nice and silver glow, I suggest you apply it with your two-way gel, because then you get a very, very intense, almost like aluminum foil, but with perfectly good glitter. And as you can see, it is very glittery, it's very fine. And the reason for that is because Jewel Effect is true silver. It's a real silver product. So I'm also gonna place this on the inner corner of her eye. So it will take up a little bit reflection of the blue. It will take some of the topaz, and it will just give you like a beautiful shine. Can you look all the way up? And connect it. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of the two-way gel, like only in the middle section, because that is where I really want the Jewel Effect to pop. So final step, mascara. So this is our 3D waterproof mascara. This is perfect for the end of summer look, because you might bump into a little bit of a rainy day. So we're gonna apply a little bit on the bottom lashes. And you wanna look up, because if I do the top first and then ask Jacqueline to look all the way up, I'm gonna put some wet mascara all over my color pigments. So now we're gonna do the top lashes, so you can look down a little bit. So you want to comb through all the hairs. That way you get an even coat on everything. And then you want to wiggle your brush, so you get like every little thing that you might miss. Get that perfect, sexy, smoky eyelash. So if you feel like something's missing, I'm missing a little bit of sexiness to this look. So what I'm gonna do is open your eyes. I'm gonna just place that black eye definer, which is waterproof, on the inside of her waterline. So what's left for her skin is we need a little bit of more color. So I'm gonna apply a nice blush. This is our Lumiere blush, and it's in color Silk Rose. And it will just give you a really nice pinkish extra tone to her skin. And we're also going to apply a little bit of highlighter. So we're going to apply the blusher a little bit on the apple of her cheek. Now a guideline for you to help you at home, where your eye ends is where your blusher will begin. So you want to apply it more of like a circular motion, and then when your brush is almost clean, you're going to go a little bit towards the ear. So again, where her eye ends, this is where I want to apply my blush. More for a circular motion. Clean it if it has some excess on there, or turn it around like I did. And then we bring it upwards a little bit, because we don't want to have like one little pink circle. We want it to go and smoke out. So for highlighter, we're going to use the Shimmer effect. And the Shimmer effect is a beautiful fluid highlighter. And the good thing about that one is, again, it's silicone based, just like her foundation is, so it's self-drying, and it has a beautiful shine to it, and it's more of a reflecting highlighter because it does not contain loose glitters. So every time you move, you have that beautiful glow without it being too much and too glittery and powdery. So the highlighter we're gonna apply on the highest points of her cheek. Look at this glow. And I like to blend it out with my brush. And then afterwards, take my finger. Because of my body heat and her heat, the product will just melt into her face and just give you a beautiful, very subtle highlight. Now we want that glow to be everywhere. So I'm just gonna apply it a little bit on the side of her nose, just to elongate the length of her nose, and on her cupid's bow. This trick will give you some fuller lips without the need of a doctor. So to complete this look, we're gonna use a lip liner, and I'm just gonna coat her almost like her whole lip with this, and then just add a tiny touch of lip gloss, because I want her eyes to pop. So I want the lips to be like more of a nude tone, so it really turns to the blue of her eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna take the lip liner, follow her natural lip, and just color a tiny bit above. So I can create a little bit of a bigger lip without it being too excessive. Take your lip brush and just evenly spread out the lip liner that we applied. It's a lip liner, because it's like a pencil, you can get like little stripy marks on there. So with your brush you will just erase them. And then take your lip gloss, start from the center. Don't go all the way to the outer side of your lips, because this way you will still have the nice and glossy effect and have it on a lot longer. We're almost there. Just this one step left, which is makeup fixer. Now this makeup fixer makes it everything waterproof. Okay, so we are all done. We have some beautiful, colorful tones to it. We have nice glow. So we are ready for this next season coming up. This is our end of summer look, but we still want to feel like it's summer. Have a cocktail and enjoy your evening. Thank you all for watching.